Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to a Monday night podcast. I feel like we haven't had a Monday night podcast in such a long time. For the next 3 weeks, we're going to be focusing on using the right word, common mistakes that we make every day. Very often when we're writing, we think we're spelling the word correctly because, spell check doesn't pick up on it and everything seems to be okay. But the reality is that even though the word is actually spelled correctly, you're using it the wrong way. So for example, it's and your. So the website has its fan, is different than it's with an apostrophe, which is it is, which is a contraction. So it's very important that you kind of think about when you're doing it's versus it's with apostrophe when it's belonging to. Or your and your. Your is when it has a apostrophe, it's a contraction. So your stands for you are. I think you're next. I think you are next. Or it's your turn. With both of these, the way to kind of make sure that you are spelling it correctly is that if you put an apostrophe, spell out the contraction. So for example, I think you're next. I think you are next. Yep, I put the apostrophe correct. It's my favorite. It is my favorite. Yes, I put the apostrophe, and I shouldn't put in the it's without the apostrophe or the you're without the apostrophe. Through and through. He threw the ball, T-H-R-E-W, the ball, and through, T-H-R-O-U-G-H, go through the door. This is an example of something where you just have to memorize the correct spelling. There's nothing no other way of kind of remembering the difference between through and through. Are and our. The birds are at the feeder versus our, he belongs to our club, kind of like belonging to. Were and where. To be honest, I actually have a very hard time with this one. There's also where, W-E-R-E, which is kind of like a contraction. Sorry. Back to our regular scheduled program. We were always on time, kind of like past tense were. Where, home is where the heart is. So were and where, it's actually pronounced differently. So that's kind of like another way of kind of, thinking about were, past tense, where, kind of almost like, present tense. And where we are, we're really excited to see you soon. We are really excited to see you soon. There. This is also an example of something that you also have to kind of memorize the differences between these, but this is so critical. Your writing piece will not sound sophisticated if the theirs are misspelled. So it's really important that you spell them correctly. There, over there is only one. There is only one. Versus T-H-E-I-R, kind of belonging to, it is their dog belonging to, versus there, they are. They're really nice. So there is only one. Over there is only one. They're belonging to, and there they are. Two, and two. Let's go to the park, kind of like going somewhere. It's too much. The two O's kind of like make my tummy hurt. It's too hot to drink almost too much. Versus two, TWO, number two. So over the two, let's go to the park, to the store, to the mall, to this. Too much, and TWO, like the number two. Other common mistakes, ant and ant. This is ant is an animal. Ant is like your Aunt Irene. Beat, it's like I'm going to beat you versus beat is the food. And brake, B-R-A-K-A-E, I got to fix the brakes on my car, or I need a break from this Monday night podcast. What are you doing for homework? You're going to write a paragraph using at least 5 of these words. You're going to print it out because you're going to be exchanging these papers with your friends and they're going to see, did you spell your words correctly? This is Mrs. Kurtz signing